Hey everyone, welcome to My Wife the Dietitian, a weekly podcast about lifestyle and healthy eating. I'm Rob, and together with my wife Sandra, we invite you to join us on this informative yet entertaining journey through the complex world of healthy eating.
We'll cover everything but the kitchen sink. Each week we'll discuss topics ranging from how to protect yourself from developing cancer, spicy foods to rev up the libido, to caring for your palliative grandfather with Alzheimer's.
We'll also delve into more complex issues like, what the heck is oat milk? Why doesn't my butt fit into these jeans? And every guy's favorite question, will eating spinach really make it bigger? Join us each week as we strive to educate, enlighten, and entertain you. Welcome to episode 11 of My Wife the Dietitian. We've got a special guest joining us today for our St. Paddy's Day episode, all about green foods. My cousin Angus is here from Ireland, and he's insisting that he introduce today's show.
That'll be a fun little show.
Angus, you need to come over to the mic. People can't hear you over there.
Hey, top of the morning to you. I'm Angus O'Shanahan, part of the O'Shanahan clan, and it's my pleasure to be here to tell you about the show. We've got a special wee episode for you today, inspired by St. Paddy himself. It's all about those lucky Irish green foods, and we're not talking about spuds. So go put your feet up and have a wee listen and see if you can't learn yourself a thing or two.
Well, thank you, Angus, for that wonderful introduction to this episode.
Oh, it's lovely to be a part of it.
You know, it sounds a little bit like Angus has a bit of Scottish in him too.
My family's from the Scottish part of Ireland, so I've got a wee bit of Scot in me too.
Ah, that's what I thought. I thought I could hear that there.
Hey, I'm just going to go have a wee pint in the corner and let you two talk.
All right, that sounds good. So let's kick it off with our green foods for St. Paddy's Day.
That's right. Transform your health to a pot of gold with 11 green foods.
11.
11. Not just 10. We're going to go to 11.
It goes to 11.
That's the Spinal Tap.
That's right.
Yes. That's a different cousin.
Well, you know, I always think green means, like, to me, it represents nature and environment and the forest and the trees, and definitely Ireland, and obviously St. Paddy's Day.
Oh, for sure. Can't forget St. Paddy's Day.
Well, Angus knows.
He does.
I do.
Did you used to have shamrock shakes when you were little from Mickey D's?
Who, me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did, but they were kind of, they looked neat, but they're, I don't know, like, yeah.
I know. I think everyone, like a lot of restaurants and pubs, get on the whole St. Paddy's
green
Day.
Beer.
Yeah, the green.
That just is like, I don't want green beer.
But we have 11 different green foods that are superfoods almost, really healthy for your body and mind.
Exactly. It reminds me when I was a kid, my mom always used to make soup with all of our leftovers, and regardless of what went into the soup, like whatever the leftovers were, it was always green. It was, and so we just called it green soup.
That's awesome.
It was hilarious. I don't know why it was always green, but I guess it had enough vegetables or green things in it that sort of became the dominant color. But
what a great idea. I love that idea of like just saving any leftovers from whatever meal in the freezer in like a bucket and then just throwing it in once a week to a soup.
Yeah, no, it's
having green soup.
It was nice having that around for sure.
Did you have it on St. Paddy's Day?
Yeah, we probably should have. I mean, my dad's Irish, so maybe that's why we had it in the first place.
From Belfast.
Yeah.
That's right. All right, number 1 is it encapsulates a whole lot of them, actually. The leafy greens.
Right, exactly. It does. That is a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's like about the size of, like, if you put your hands together. That would be a serving of leafy greens, and they're just loaded with good nutrition. We talked about eye health last week. So lutein and vitamin C, and the ones I'm talking about, like, what are some leafy greens that you can think of?
Uh, well, spinach right off the top of my head.
Yes. Yeah.
Lettuce, arugula, kale,
Yes.
bok choy, I think so. Angus, keep it down over there. Just be quiet and drink your beer.
That's fine.
Hey, it's okay.
So you said kale, and that's like one of the. It's so good. It's a cruciferous.
A cruciferous.
Thank you. Vegetable, or the cabbage family, and so it's really loaded with fiber and vitamin C, and it's really excellent. Good for you. It's got also those. Remember we talked about good for the immune system.
Right. Yeah. What was that stuff?
The phytochemicals. Well, it's loaded with. Actually, there's specific ones called indoles and isothiocyanates.
Oh, of course.
It's a really long. How many syllables is that?
I can't believe I didn't remember that.
That actually, those reduce the risk of cancer. So
I can't believe you actually said that without stuttering. That's impressive.
I remember actually, oh my gosh, 12, 13 years ago, we did a class at one of the universities in, UVic in Victoria here. And it was on phytochemicals to help prevent cancer. And I remember that was the indoles and the isothiocyanates were ones that we talked about. So I have that memorized.
You just did it again. That's impressive.
It's like muscle memory for your tongue, right?
Yeah. Fun.
So a few more collard greens, beet tops, Swiss chard, and any of those mixed lettuces. I think there's over 50 different varieties.
Yeah, it sounds like, there's tons. There's tons.
Yeah, so any of those green leafy vegetables, if you can try to include them most days, at least 6 times a week, that's super important. And actually, it's good for preventing dementia and good for memory and cognition. So it's part of the MIND diet, which we'll talk about in the future.
Excellent.
Number 2, we're talking about avocado.
Oh, I love avocado.
Oh, I know. It's actually, I think it's like a millennial food, like avocado toast. It really became popular in the last decade, I'd say.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, there was always avocado, but I just think now it's more...
How it's being used has changed.
Yeah, and it's widely available. I think a lot of people realize that those... the fats in avocado are the monounsaturated fats, and they're so good for you. They can reduce your LDL cholesterol, the bad cholesterol, or the lousy LDL.
Oh, okay. LDL.
Yeah.
I could never keep those straight, but that makes sense. Lousy.
Yeah. LDL, and the HDL is the healthy, but that's a different topic. But also with the avocado, it's really high in vitamin E, remember?
I do remember that. Yeah.
And that was good for
eyeballs,
right? Vision and eye health for
and
sure.
our eyeballs. Yeah.
That's right. And also something else in the avocado that is an actual natural sunblock. What is it? What was that called? Starts with an L.
And lutein.
Yes. There we
really?
go. Yeah. Guess how much?
How much what?
There's 369 milligrams of lutein in one avocado.
Wow. Who measured that?
Some lab somewhere.
Somebody's job somewhere was to measure that.
I know. It's
good
amazing.
for them. That's impressive.
Yeah, it's a really good source of lutein, which is excellent. And also fiber.
Oh, of course. Yeah, lots of fiber.
It's actually really high in fiber. It's 9 grams of fiber in an avocado. That's a lot of fiber.
That is a lot of fiber.
I know, because it doesn't seem fibrous, but it's actually got a lot of fiber, and the fiber is actually good for helping reduce your risk of developing diabetes, heart disease, cancer. So it's and then with the phytochemicals in the avocado, it also helps with, it's like an antioxidant, so it helps your brain health and your cognition and memory.
Nice.
Yes. So how do we use avocado?
I You're pointing to a list and I can't see a word that's on that. So
Maybe you need to eat more avocado and leafy greens.
yeah, if you hear like big pauses, that's me trying to read Sandra's writing. How do we use avocado? I like to just spread it on things like toast and dip it with stuff.
Yeah, we put it in tacos.
I just will eat it like it's a piece of cheese.
Right.
Like I'll just put it on a sandwich. I'll slice it.
Yeah.
And dice it and include it in sandwiches and
our soups.
Yeah, it's good in soup too, which is
soups.
kind of funny when I think of that. But
do you remember my favorite soup of all time? Tortilla.
soup. Mexican tortilla soup.
Yeah, and that's got a big chunk of avocado in it.
Yeah, well, it's really creamy. Like the avocado's kind of creamy, so it's got a nice texture.
Yeah, and you know the creamy and like I mentioned about the good fats in it. That's actually really good because then if you put it with a salad, for instance, you're getting those the fats that help with to improve your absorption of fat-soluble vitamins.
Right.
And the lutein is fat-soluble. So you need a bit of fat to help with absorption of it. So it's really awesome. Super healthy.
Sounds good.
I do want to mention something for point number 1, the leafy greens. There is a caution with people that are on blood thinners like Coumadin, warfarin, heparin. Basically, leafy greens are rich in vitamin K, which is normally quite a good thing, but with blood thinners, it does the opposite of what blood thinners do. So vitamin K helps your blood clot, and so you want a consistent intake day to day of foods that are rich in vitamin K, like the leafy greens. So you don't want to overdo it and then the next day not have enough. So most days you should keep that vitamin K intake pretty consistent.
So you should eat a lot of a lot of leafy greens every day.
Well, what happens? This is a whole different topic, but basically they get their blood clotting measured, and if they are having too much food and vitamin K, then it can affect the clotting factors in their blood.
Yeah, that's good stuff to know. I'm just being silly, but good for pointing that out.
Yeah, one thing about having those leafy greens.
It's not written on the head of lettuce. The warning on head of lettuce isn't there.
That's right.
Yeah, so we need to point that out.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's only a very small part of the population, but those that are on the blood thinners, it does affect them.
Yeah, for sure. They'd like to know that.
Number 3 is broccoli.
Another cruciferous vegetable.
You got it. Holy. Yes. It's from the cabbage family too. It's like the little trees that the kids used to call them.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're loaded with the indoles and the isothiocyanates to reduce cancer risk.
Isothiocyanates.
There you go. You did it.
I can do it too.
It's
I've
a
heard it enough
phytochemical.
now.
Yeah, phytochemical antioxidant.
Isothiocyanates.
And it's mostly in the vegetables that have that sulfury smell, like the cabbage or broccoli, cauliflower. That's how you know it's the isothiocyanates.
All right. I'm going to keep my eyes peeled for that, or my nose open for that.
Right, smelling.
Yeah.
And you know what else is Brussels sprouts is kind of in the category also, and that's high in potassium and good for blood pressure. But they have the isothiocyanates and indoles too.
Yeah, not one of my favorites, but I tolerate them.
It's common. A lot of people they don't like Brussels sprouts for I don't know whatever reason, but I think they're really good. You can really make that, like you can roast them, you can barbecue them.
Yeah, I think
grill them.
If you do them up, they're good. But just straight on, like I don't know, they got kind of a pungent flavor to them. I think that just doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, and that pungent flavor and smell, those are
that's what's good for you.
The antioxidants are really exactly.
I figured you were going to say that.
Okay, let's move on to a fruit that is green and has a fuzzy peach-like skin.
Oh,
from down under.
Angus, any ideas?
I don't know.
He's got the Scottish accent going again now. I think he's on to his second pint, so it must bring out the Scottish. Let me guess. I'm going to say kiwi.
Right. Yeah, they call each other Kiwis. Don't they, New Zealanders?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Loaded in, they have vitamin C. They actually have something to help you sleep. For people that eat kiwis regularly, they have the serotonin.
Kiwis do.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Huh.
So that's a nice little bonus.
It sure is. I love kiwis.
Yeah.
I eat a couple every day.
Yeah. And like 4 grams of fiber in one kiwi.
Wow.
128 milligrams of vitamin C. That's like 100 and I don't know, like it's more than your daily value that
Requirement,
you need.
because that's a 60, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Look at me.
yeah, look at you. And folate, which is the B vitamin that is really important in pregnancy and helps prevent neural tube defects for the fetus.
Nice.
So
Yeah, that's not a hard one to eat.
yeah,
Kiwis are pretty tasty.
Awesome. Yeah, you can like have them in a salad or in yogurt or cereal or just on their own as a snack.
Yeah, I just like to eat it straight up.
I know they're so sweet and just and there's the seeds that shows you right there that they are loaded with fiber.
That's true.
Yeah, they're really tasty. I love the flavor. And you can actually buy cut up frozen kiwi that you can add to smoothies and.
Oh, really? Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, and the same with avocado. Like you can.
Well,
buy,
yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah,
but
frozen
kiwi.
diced. Yeah.
To look for that. Oh, no, I've seen that. I've seen it in the mixed bag, like with strawberries and bananas, I think.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I've seen it on their own.
Yeah.
but
Okay. Gotcha.
The mixed bag. Number 5 is something that I think we touched on, but it's one that we're gonna be hearing more and more about. It comes from the sea.
Would it be a seaweed?
That's very green.
It is very green.
That's right. Yeah, and loaded with zinc.
And that's another you were talking about avocados being kind of like a trendy new thing, and seaweed's kind of like that too. I find with some of the kind of snack products that are based on seaweed.
Yeah, totally. The seaweed
maybe
snacks.
there's new information about it, or it's just become.
Yeah, no, it's one of those like superfoods that they're finding. It's so high in nutrition and packed with like it's got iron in it. It's got iodine. It's a good sodium-free salt replacer in soup. So you can buy these strips of seaweed that you can just add to your soup, and then it actually naturally increases the tastes like salt, but it's actually not. You're not getting sodium.
Is it like because they're from the sea and they're like a saltwater sponge?
Yeah, maybe
a little bit. Like
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they taste salty.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and then with sushi, the wraps, like the actual nori that you wrap the sushi filling in. So it's there's so many different ways. They're very versatile seaweed.
Yeah, and definitely a lot more products featuring seaweed now. So it's worth a try. It's really tasty.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's funny to eat though, especially those sheets that they're like I don't know, like an 8-inch square sheet of dried seaweed.
Yeah, it's almost like a tortilla.
It's like a piece of paper.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's like, here, you want one? I'm like, wow, what do I do with that? Yeah, it's strange eating that, but it's good.
Yeah, finding so many different types of seaweed products on the market, eh?
Yeah, you could probably make like a little lettuce wrap, but with the seaweed.
Totally. Yeah.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, I think that's what they're for.
Probably, yeah. That would make more sense.
I could just see you like, I'm gonna have a tortilla, just eat it like a piece of paper instead of rolling it up.
Oh, like the wrap
Yeah.
thing? I know.
Same kind of thing, right?
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
Yeah, I think also
I'm just new.
Yeah. No, it's all good.
Figuring it all out.
Well, I think with the a lot of people cutting out breads and kind of reducing gluten and wheat, they are using like lettuce as a wrap or the seaweed as a wrap too. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, the next one was the picture for the Sexy Foods poster that we did, and what was that? Green food.
I'm just gonna say the picture is on our Facebook page, and we have some fun with that because it's the only visual element of this podcast. And for those of you who haven't seen our Facebook page, it might be worth a little visit because we do some fun stuff on there. And we're referring to a picture of me proposing to Sandra with a bouquet of asparagus for Valentine's
Asparagus,
Day.
there we go. Yes.
Yeah. So check out the Facebook page because it's kind of fun.
Yeah, and I think we will be probably transitioning to, well, keeping on Facebook, but also YouTube and other different social medias so that you can see the podcast on different modes.
Different, different, whatever that word is we're looking for. We have all the big words nailed. It's just the little simple ones that we're struggling with. Okay, what do we need to know about asparagus?
Well, it's loaded with B vitamins. So all like the thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, B6, folate. So it's got lots of B vitamins. It's almost like a B complex supplement that just like eat your asparagus, you get your B vitamins.
Right.
And fiber.
Fiber, of course. They're very fibrous texture to them, so that makes sense.
Yeah. And I love them roasted with olive oil drizzled over them.
They're so good. Yeah. Underrated, I would say, even as far as a mainstream kind of vegetable. At our house, anyway, we should definitely be eating them more because they're so tasty when we do.
Yes. Number 7, lucky number 7.
Number 7
are the ones that we grow in the garden, and they're so easy to grow. Peas.
Yeah, peas. Peas are so good.
They're so good. You can get,
especially right out of the garden.
Oh yeah, snow peas or sweet peas. I love the little like the pea, the pod.
I like the big pods you got to pop open and you get the little treat inside.
That's right, Mother Nature's candy.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, and they're so good for you. I mean, peas are like so good for you, loaded with fiber and B vitamins, vitamin C, iron, like just so good for you.
Yeah.
And along with that is beans, which are another green food, and that's still number 7 because I kind of put them in the same category.
Yeah, they're kind of similar, right?
Yeah, and beans are they have a low glycemic load, so when you eat beans, it's good for people that have blood sugar issues. It's a good side dish with your meal to have some beans.
Yeah, easy to cook too. They're pretty quick.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the next one, it's kind of similar when we said pea pod. Number 8 is the edamame.
That's a great word too. I like to say that.
It's a great word. It is. I love it. And they're the soybean pods, right?
They're fun to eat too. Like you got to pop them out of their little pod.
Yeah, yeah. And the ones you get, like if you get them in the frozen food, in the bag, you just put like a handful in. You could put it in the microwave for a minute with a little bit of water, and oh my God, they're ready, and they're so tasty. Like it's a great appetizer before dinner. They are amazing plant-based protein, so loaded with protein. 1 cup of edamame, it gives you 18.5 grams of protein.
Wow, I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, because it's a soybean. It's the soy family.
Oh, it's because it's the soy.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's just so good for heart health and lowering your LDL, your lousy cholesterol.
And what's the H one again? What's the H stand for?
Healthy.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And your HDL, you basically exercise helps to raise your healthy cholesterol.
Right.
Anyway, so number 9 is green tea.
Green tea.
So
Yummy.
instead of a shamrock shake, in terms of beverage, green tea is one of those healthy beverages because it's got the catechins or catechins, some people call them. Catch Me If You Can movie. Yeah.
Catechins,
that's right.
The backyardigans. And
that's right. Yeah. And loaded with antioxidants, polyphenols. People that drank green tea for a month had better insulin. They lowered their insulin resistance. So it was a good thing. It helps with blood sugar control. And with green tea, has a little bit of caffeine, which helps with boosting your metabolism and feeling more energetic. So
it's good for brain health too, isn't it?
it sure is. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been drinking it a lot lately. Can you tell?
Yes, I can accept.
Has it kicked
It's not
in?
helping your vision, but
No, not my vision, but
I'm just teasing, Rob. Number 10 are all those green herbs.
or herbs.
Herbs.
If you live in the part of the world that pronounces that as an herb.
Herb or herb or yes, or that's a name. Somebody's name is Herb.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's so many: basil, rosemary, thyme, oregano, marjoram, sage. Oh, there's just I
It's
probably
like a Simon and Garfunkel song.
there's so many, right? Lavender. There's so many herbs, and it's like the leaf, right? So the leaf part of the herb, and they are like strong antioxidants. The basil has this essential oil called eugenol, and it's an anti-inflammatory.
Oh, or like if you eat the
Basil.
obviously eating it fresh or
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. You always ask such good questions.
I'm here to challenge you.
Yeah, you are challenging. I'll have to look that up. I'm not quite sure if you would get that essential oil if it's dried. I know you get it with the fresh.
Okay. But it's good fresh anyway.
Oh,
It's so tasty.
Oh, it's so fragrant and just buttery leaves. Oh, I just love the basil.
There's so much flavor. Like, this is a funny way to explain it, but like per square inch, like for the size of the little leaf, there's so much flavor packed in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So good. And pesto made with basil. Yeah, so good. That's definitely a summer herb you can grow on your deck or in the garden, because it's just, you can use it. And then all of those other herbs too, like all the other ones are pretty much perennial. They'll come back every year. So the rosemary and the thyme and the lavender and oregano, marjoram, sage, they all come back. And lemon balm is another green herb and mint. Like there's just so many, and it's they're all green and they're all so good for us.
Yeah, they're tasty. I'm just thinking, often when we go for a walk in the spring or summer, and Sandra sees someone's garden and she just like attacks it and starts picking leaves off and making me smell them and guess what they are. And I'm like, are we allowed to do this? We're like picking, oh no, it's good for the plant. And she's just so excited
Stimulates
about
the growth.
Yeah, she's so excited about seeing all these
and
fresh
I just love
herbs.
the smell. Like it's like you can just like pick a little bit of rosemary and like put it in your pocket, and that's, remember it was in the Sexy Foods, and how there's a memory connection with rosemary. Like it's just I just love herbs.
And what herb was it that was in Polo cologne?
Sage.
Was it sage?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one that a lot of people use with chicken. Like it's good. It's
Polo?
No.
Spray a little polo on the chicken.
No.
It's like
sage. Yeah. Although we've been roasting our chicken with rosemary lately. I just love it.
And it smells so good when it's cooking.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it tastes good too.
Yeah. And you can like pick a bunch of rosemary and then just like tie it up and like let it dry upside down just in the kitchen, and then use it for your dishes like the chicken.
So yummy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're almost done. Our lucky number 11.
That's so lucky. Lucky number 11.
Angus is still with us.
Okay. You made it all the way to the end here, Angus.
Oh, you're just about done, are you?
Yeah, we're just about done.
Well, number 11.
Number 11.
Yes.
11.
So what's that versatile vegetable that you can, it's kind of like a fruit, and it's the one that we're going to talk about is green, but it can come in the yellow, in the orange, in the red, or in a chili. It's a green.
Pfeffer? A green pfeffer. A green pepper.
Absolutely. That's our last green one, and loaded with vitamin C and super good for us and great in salads, and people just eat them. If you grow them in your garden too, you just like pick it and just eat it like an apple.
Okay, so here's my question for you, because I always have a fun question for you. Are green peppers and red peppers and yellow peppers, do they all have vitamin C? or
Yeah.
or do they have different properties, nutritional properties?
That's a good question. And
Well, thank you.
yes, they do. Actually, they do. Beta carotene you can't really get that in the green pepper, but in the orange and red and yellow have more of those, like the beta carotene.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. We saw a pepper farm one time, and it seemed like the green peppers ripened and turned into a red pepper, or like one of them comes from another one somehow.
Yeah,
I
and
think.
I mean, like if you have the seeds, if you have like you actually would buy green pepper seeds or red pepper seeds and orange pepper seeds. So then, but that's a good question. We should look into that.
Yeah, because I remember that, but now that I need to explain it, I don't remember it well enough to feel confident about my explanation. So I'm just gonna say, go look it up.
Yeah, like I'm not sure if the green pepper is just the red pepper not quite ripened.
That's what I'm thinking, because a red pepper is really sweet and a green pepper is kind of more
bitter almost.
Yeah, bitter.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Let's look into that.
Okay, we'll look into that. We'll report back. We should get Angus to do it. He's just sitting there having a beer in the corner.
Yeah, right.
I'm fine over here.
I think he's having a good time. We'll leave him alone.
Well, thanks, Rob. That was a fun one.
That was fun.
Happy St. Patty's Day this week.
Happy St. Patty's Day to you.
You got all those accents. That's great.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Make me laugh.
That's why we're here.
Okay.
All right. We'll talk to you all next week. Thanks for joining us today on My Wife the Dietitian. If you like what you heard, don't be shy. Leave us a comment or review, and be sure to share our podcast with your friends. If you'd like to hear more, hit that subscribe button. You can also follow us on our social media pages for updates, episode trailers, and other odds and ends. For more info and links on what we discussed on today's episode, check the show notes. We'll be back next week with another informative and fun-filled episode.